Before we really get started, I got to do the YouTube stuff. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And if you have been here before, welcome back. I hope everything is well with you. Hope you're cool. Hope life been treating you well. Enjoy the video.
It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured. The Celtics are NBA champions.
So, about a week ago, the Boston Celtics won the 2024 NBA championship. And I take nothing from them. Congratulations to them. I'm not a fan of them. I'm a Warriors fan. I've been a Warriors fan. So, I had no dog in this past finals fight. However, what I did find interesting is that this finals is starting to become coined as the worst finals ever. Compound that with the Forbes article that most content creators have shown you, but I'll have to show you for the 100th time, by Forbes, which shows the NBA Finals this year hit its lowest viewership in 3 years. And I've seen a lot of opinions, primarily that of B-Souls, shout out to him, being one of the longer explanations of this decline in viewership. So I thought I would respond to him while also dropping my 2 cents on the whole matter.
Jason Tatum wanted his voice to be used in the commercial saying, "Keep not believing in me." I can't remember exactly how it was.
It was about 2 weeks.
Was it? Well, really? Well, that's breaking news to me.
I'm not giving you a specific date. I don't know this.
Well, I do think that most people are just going to jump out the window immediately and blame streaming. I think it's a little deeper than that, and it has to do with the community as a whole. A star on a team in any capacity is the one that should be the prime focus and should be the one that you market. That person should become synonymous with the team. When you think of the Cleveland Cavaliers, generally, it's going to lead you straight back to LeBron James, whether he's on the team or not. The Golden State Warriors have Stephen Curry. The Milwaukee Bucks have Giannis Antetokounmpo. Then the list goes on, obviously. And while I do think that the NBA is kind of in a transient spot right now, that doesn't mean that the two teams that were in the NBA Finals didn't have stars on them. You had two battling duos. You had Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown going up against who just weeks ago it felt like they were calling one of the greatest duos of all time in Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. And even though this is the thing that the media should have been focused on, they obviously weren't. When it came to the finals, a larger portion of the conversation that was coming out of the basketball community at large, I guess you could say, for those that weren't focused on the finals, was the LeBron Laker coaching circus, and even some early off-season speculation of where Klay Thompson could quite possibly be going. There was less focus on the teams that were going to be playing in the finals and more on individual storylines like Kyrie versus Boston and how these 2024 finals could be legacy defining for Jason Tatum's of the world. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I definitely think that there's a place for those things in the early media circus that generally surrounds the finals. However, as games progressed, it became less and less about the teams and more about what someone wasn't doing and who wasn't showing up. And that single-mindedness and narrow-mindedness is going to take away from how the casual viewer, someone that may only pop in for the fourth quarter of a game, will use their time. But this is just one example of a larger problem that affects the casual viewer the most and has a trickle-down effect on the community as a whole. The media's want, dare I say need, to push a narrative that is solely dependent on the stars that are out currently, not even the upcoming stars, so that they can get views and clicks, leads to lower viewership in the regular season, even lower viewership in the playoffs, because if those stars don't make it, the narrative that you've built around that casual viewer is following no longer has any weight. The casual viewer no longer has anything to attach themselves to. Every time you call something legacy defining for a Stephen Curry or a LeBron James or a Jokic, when they don't make the finals or they aren't in the award races at the end of the year, what is the casual viewer supposed to do now? They have nothing to watch. This storyline that they've been following the entire year just ends. There's no conclusion. It's just over like that in a flash. When you spend all year hyper-focusing on things that you don't control and hyper-focusing on things that are one note and generally non-important over the course of a roughly 2,000 game season, you leave viewers with nothing to look forward to if their favorite star doesn't make it to the big dance. If their favorite star doesn't make the finals, what purpose do they now have to participate in watching the finals, the playoffs in general? The Anthony Edwards Timberwolves storyline that everyone was pushing was fantastic until they got bounced out by the Mavericks. Then all of those fans that weren't really fans but casuals were then forced to just step away from basketball. That's essentially where their season ended if that's all that they were a fan of. If all they wanted to see was Anthony Edwards win a championship, once he didn't, what other attachment do they have left? They don't.
Now, I will say this, right? Illegal streaming is a factor. I'm not going to sit here and act like it isn't. And I think the problem with illegal streaming is we don't really know how big illegal streaming has gotten.
You know, we had to address the elephant in the room. There's no way that we can have this conversation without mentioning streaming. Illegal streaming. Now, while Stream East is the head of all of this, I'm going to bring your attention to something. I graphed all of the finals ratings from 2022 to the present day. So 2022, 2023, and 2024. You can see there has been a steady decline, with the last peak being at about 14 million, which was Game 6 of the Warriors and Celtics. Steph Curry would go on to win his first finals MVP, win another title. You know how the story goes. But outside of that moment, everybody's hovering around that 11 to 12 million mark in terms of average viewers. Oh, and don't worry, I took care of doing the other major sports, at least in America anyway, as well. The MLB is posting some of their worst numbers, actually, with the lowest average viewer coming as recently as last year in 2023. They're literally doing worse than the NBA in terms of average viewers. And the Super Bowl has seen a steady increase with a couple of dips here and there. However, I think there's a fair argument to be made that their average viewers will continue to increase, because at this point, the Super Bowl has a bigger base in the commercials and the stardom. So even if the two teams that you hate the most are playing, there's still a reason for you to watch. There's just a very good chance that your favorite artist could be the one performing at the halftime show, or you could see a commercial that sticks with you for a while. They have something that appeals to the casual viewer. Now, before I get too far off the track, you may ask, how does all this compare to streaming? Well, streaming in itself has grown tremendously, and with the advent of social media and its consistent growth year after year after year, as well as social media's ability to just impact the world at large, it was very easy for places like Stream East to become the most known in the game of streaming, right? Illegally, at least. But it goes farther than that. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm not going to put you on, but I'm going to just make you clear that it exists, because I know it exists. I've seen it. By the time this video goes up, either the NBA draft should be the same night, or we should be in the process of, first round, second round, whatever the case may be. And I can guarantee you everybody's going to be on Stream East. But I can also guarantee you that there are going to be Discord communities built around it. There are Facebook groups built around it. There are TikTok lives, kick streams. There's probably a roundabout way to do it on Twitch. Like, Stream East is not the only opposition in this whole thing. You have to consider every single angle, and everyone's participating. Stream East is just the face of the company, if you will. Stream East just so happens to be the group that will take the biggest amount of blame if we ever decide to do something about this issue. But far and away, they are not the only one. Stream East just happened to be at the right place at the right time and happen to just do everything right. Whatever issues they have, you're willing to deal with because you know you're not paying for it. And there's not a dip off in quality. Illegal streaming fixes a problem. that the NBA has had forever. So while you are continually going to attempt to blame places like Stream East, if y'all go far down the rabbit hole, TikTok, Facebook, whoever, wherever you go get your stuff from, it's not their fault. It's not their fault they're filling in the market. It's the NBA's fault, almost entirely.
If you don't bring value to value, you devalue value. Stop playing games, get out your ass, go out there and make it happen, and it's just like that.
There was no way that we could make it this far and not solve the problem, because I don't like having rounded conversations. I do not want to be a year later having the same worst finals ever conversation. So in order to avoid tweets like these, here's what we need to do. The first thing that needs to happen is you need to subscribe, because if you've made it this far in the video, a subscribe button, click right now, and a like, cherry on top. Perfect run. In actuality though, let's be serious now. In actuality, let's really talk about it. We need to fix the integration problems. No more Fubo TV, no more Sling TV, no more YouTube TV. Catch it on. No more League Pass. No more of these random integrations. ABC, and then pick one place. You already have a partnership with HBO Max. HBO Max is where you're going. If people don't want to do HBO Max, then partner with HBO Max and tell them, hey, we want to give people a 2-week free trial for the duration of the playoffs. So if you start in round 1 of the playoffs, you will still get a 2-week free trial, a little 14-day run. So they can't go through the entirety of the playoffs or even close to all of the playoffs, but they can get enough to decide if that for themselves if they want to keep going. That makes perfect sense. Don't keep integrating things like YouTube TV, League Pass, that stuff, that's for hoop heads. I'm not going to only get YouTube TV just so I can watch the finals. That doesn't happen. And if I'm not a casual. So imagine the lengths a casual is going to go to. They're not going to go that far. They're just going to go to Stream East. Just saying. Bring that value back so that they have a reason to go and stick around. Give them their little 14-day free trial for the duration of whatever the first round's going to be, because y'all the ones setting the schedule. So get them a little 14-day free trial, duration of the first round, peak of the second, and you good. The second thing we need to do, make the finals feel big again. More banner ads at the bottom of shows the week leading up to. Handle things better in terms of crazy edits and good commercials and small little interviews with individual players about what it means to make it to the finals. And like, great example, Kyrie and Luka's fathers were both there. Jason Tatum's dad was there as well. Ask the parents individually. Throw a little, y'all had the perfect chance. Father's Day opportunity next year. On Father's Day, if there's going to be a game slated for that day, what you do is you get the fathers of the major players in the finals. You get them to sit down and have a conversation with their dad, or talk to their dad, have their dad interview them, do something to take it to that next step, move it to that next level. We don't just need to fall in love with the game, we need to fall in love with the people that are involved. That is how you turn casuals into real hoop heads. And third, fix the media problem. Stop allowing the media to run narratives that degrade players for long term, because what ends up happening is, Luka went from great, could be top 5, could be top 15, top 20. He's working on putting together an all-time resume, to, as he was injured, mind you, as he was hampered by injury, we don't know the extent, but as he was hampered by injury, people then started saying, oh, he's lazy, oh, he's not doing enough. That negative publicity, narration of a man's career is what's going to make people just assume that a blowout was coming anyway. So no, I'm not gonna watch. Fix the conversation around the finals, as well as make the finals feel big again, and streamline the process so that it's all in one place, and you will kill the game. Y'all gonna take time to run market research and do all that anyway. I already know how it go. So what you should do is Ask the casual viewer how they feel about it. Ask the hoop heads how they feel about it, and find a common ground. What you will see is that there is an extreme amount of overlay in what people want. Listen, if you made it this far in the video, you have to know that I appreciate you. Man, this was a long one and took a minute to do. So even though I'm keep bringing it up, I gotta be consistent. I need you to hit that sub button for me and leave a like. Greatly supports the channel and makes it, you know, easier to make videos like these. Yeah, man, that's all I got, bro. If you got anything you want to add or anything that you feel like I forgot, in order to make the finals feel bigger for even if it's just you personally, let me know that down in the comment section below. And as always, y'all boys be easy, y'all boys be safe. I'll see you later. Peace.
Oh my God. It's a surreal feeling. We did it. We did it! Oh my God, we did it!